Hey there. This may be a little awkward. Um, Definitely awkward for me. Um, because it's been many, many months since I was pushed to um record anything, and this time I'm not being pushed to. Um, I just feel it's necessary. Um, I feel it's necessary because, especially here in the US, we are in the middle of a shitstorm, a maelstrom connected to so many things related to Donald Trump and this turn toward authoritarianism across the country. It is a clear example, not of history repeating itself. History doesn't repeat itself, human behavior does. Let's get really clear about that. We are in the midst of never again being an everyday experience for many, many people. And I have felt, for a number of reasons, I don't have a voice in that my voice doesn't matter, that this voice doesn't matter. I feel lost in so much noise. I don't want to be part of the noise if I can't be part of a solution. However, I was inspired because about 10 days ago, I started going through notebooks from April 2021. I went looking for very specific conversations I'd had with what I call the energy of America. I did not find those. Those have been long gone. And because they were specific, I'm not going to go back and revisit. I don't remember them, and the specificity of the communication was important. So I'm not revisiting that. What those conversations were do not offer a solution for where we are right now. That much I remember. What I have found, though, in these notebooks is information I began receiving on April 16th, 2021 about somebody who became a student 2 months ago. A string of visions that at the time I just said, what the fuck? But wrote them down as one does and let them go. And part of my experience is because there are so many, they are so fantastical, they are so overwhelming, they require energy and focus, and then there's the next one, and then there's the next one, and then there's all the while trying to piece together like life stuff that has to actually happen. So I write them down, and generally speaking, there's a brain fart. I can't keep it all contained here, which is why I write them down. And in these notebooks, I am now into February of 2022. And 2 nights ago, I reread something that happened on February 5th of 2022. This came through after a deeply powerful experience where 2 women laid their hands on me. And the voice began moving through for the first time ever in the way that was beyond introductory. It was a connection to an aspect of myself, or an aspect of what was subsuming myself. And It said this: "Speak to me of things not said. Speak truths of fear, so there is no more. Speak the pain into oblivion. Speak a path to love. Speak the heart. Speak the word, the true word. Speak to the caster outers. Speak love to being. Speak." Now, in the past, or prior to this experience, and quite a few times afterwards, my response was, well, what would you have me say? There are so many voices. There are so many words. There are so many people and prayers and the marketing of what's real in this day and age gets shoved into this morass and competes with what is not true. And I have thought that I really didn't have anything to add to what is happening around the Trump administration. I had thought that what I have to say doesn't matter. What I have to say on this doesn't matter because what I have to say on other things doesn't matter. I have thought the only way for me to move through this, maintaining something close to sanity, was to stay focused on the missing and murdered Indigenous women work and address the hypocrisies of the Trump administration through that are related to enforcement versus non-enforcement, drama versus straight up permission for the Sinaloans to move right on through Indian country and to stay where they've set up camp, because the focus on immigration and the show about the cartels are not just contradiction. They are directly tied to the institutionalization of women and girls being disappeared for sexual exploitation and then dropped into the desert. However, those things can't be separate from the bigger picture. They can't be separated from what is happening in Alamosa, Colorado, Chicago, Portland, what's happening in every city and every small town to every brown-skinned person who has been othered, especially by those who claim to know God. Know God as American. A particular white set of American ideals or ideas. I don't know what this looks like. Again, there are so many voices. There are so many people who have so many things to say. And I don't know where my place in all of this is, except I can't be quiet after reading Speak the word, speak the true word, speak love into being. I don't know how to do that when I don't feel like I fit in this world. One of the other things I did a couple of weekends ago is I listened to a couple of podcasts. I don't like the format, but I watched a couple of podcasts with, in quotes, psychic or spiritual folks, and I mean, just to see if I like what it is I'm really missing. And what I'm missing is a place in this world, because how people interact with explanations and definitions and experiences within this is, despite touching on the extraordinary, is limiting. And I don't fit in that world. And I have this, I don't know. I'm just going to stop there, because otherwise I'm going to start rambling. Actually, I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to read this one more time. I am going to read what God said when it moved through me on February 5th, 2022. Speak to me of things not said. Speak truths of fear so there is no more. Speak the pain into oblivion. Speak a path to love. Speak the heart. Speak the word, the true word. Speak to the caster outers. Speak love into being. Speak. And I actually wrote myself a note here, because I found another note on February 19th. Break the silence of the longing heart. Speak love to being. That is all, and that is everything. I love you.